You will never win like a champion until you learn to speak like one. Before a single success touches your hands, before the applause, the money, the attention, before any external validation arrives, you must already carry the voice of a man who has conquered. Speak like it's already done, because that's the truth that separates those who rise from those who rot in self-doubt. Winners do not speak with hesitation. They speak with revelation. And the revelation is this: victory is not handed to you, it is declared by you. You see, most people are waiting for a signal to speak with power. They believe that confidence will fall upon them like rain. That belief will somehow arrive from the outside world. But what they never understand is that belief is spoken into existence. No one will believe in your dream more than you do. And if you can't say it out loud, why should they even bother listening? You must speak as though it is already yours, not because you are lying, not because you are faking, but because your identity precedes your reality. Every man who ever changed the world declared it first. They had one thing in common: they spoke like they already won. You must become so aligned with your vision that your words echo with authority before anyone sees the evidence. Say it out loud now: I speak like I already won. Not because I'm trying to convince you, but because I've already convinced myself. You see, everything changes when you stop reporting your past and start announcing your future. Most people use their mouth to describe. The great ones use their mouth to declare. It's a total transformation of language. Instead of saying, I hope to succeed, say, I am building something extraordinary. Instead of saying, I'm trying to improve, say, I lead with discipline and precision. Instead of saying, I don't know if I'm good enough, say, I am exactly the man for this calling. That shift, those words, they send signals to your mind, your body, your spirit, and even to the world around you. Everything begins to align, not because you begged for it, but because you announced it. Your speech is not a side effect, it is a signal. A man who speaks like he already won walks differently, works differently, waits differently. He does not panic, he prepares. He does not beg, he builds. He does not wish, he wills, because he knows that the tongue is the architect of the future. With every sentence, you are either fortifying your vision or sabotaging it. So I ask you, what have your words been building lately? Have you spoken as the man you are becoming? Or have you mumbled as the man you've been trying to forget? Language is not neutral. It carries energy, weight, direction. Every time you open your mouth, you're either pulling yourself forward or holding yourself back. So from this day forward, you train your speech like a warrior trains his sword. Sharpened, disciplined, purposeful. You do not waste words on pity. You do not waste energy explaining your ambition to those who doubt it. Speak only that which builds, strengthens, declares, defines. You must become so consistent in your declarations that people start to feel your victory before they see it. And when they question your tone, let them. They'll say, you sound so sure of yourself. Good. They'll ask, what makes you so confident? The answer is simple. I've already seen the vision, and now I'm simply catching up to it. You see, when you speak like you've already won, time becomes an ally, not a barrier. You're no longer begging for opportunity. You are preparing to receive what you already know is yours. That's the mindset of champions. Champions do not shrink their speech to comfort the crowd. Champions speak truth and let the crowd rise to their level. Your tone is not arrogance, it's alignment. Your conviction is not ego, it's execution. Speak like you already won, because every day you don't, you reinforce the wrong story. And the story you reinforce becomes the life you live. Change your words, change your world. Now let's talk practically. This is not just motivation, this is strategy. From the moment you rise in the morning, you should be declaring who you are. You don't leave it up to chance. You don't let the day define your identity. You define the day with your words. Say, today I lead. Today I finish what I start. Today I speak with clarity. Today I execute without excuse. Every meeting, every interaction, every project must be approached with the same verbal clarity. If someone asks, how's business? You do not reply with uncertainty. You say, it's growing fast. I'm building something lasting. I'm leading a movement. That's the kind of voice that creates gravity. People want to be around a voice that believes. People want to invest in a tone that is certain, because energy is contagious, and nothing transmits energy faster than your voice. But here's the test. Can you speak like you already won when there's no win in sight? That's when the real leaders are forged. Not in the moment of the deal, but in the moment of the drought. Can you still speak vision in the middle of disappointment? Can you still declare victory when surrounded by defeat? Because that is the training ground. That's where your belief becomes a weapon. That's where the champion's voice is refined. Anyone can sound confident after success, but it takes inner mastery to sound victorious in the dark. And once you can do that, once you have trained your mouth to prophesy, not panic, there is no enemy, no doubt, no rejection that can take that power from you, because your voice is no longer responding to conditions, it is creating them. From this day forward, speak only what you want to manifest. Stop describing what's wrong and start declaring what's next. Stop repeating your struggle and start rehearsing your standards. Stop begging life for favors and start commanding it with focused, intentional, disciplined language. You are no longer available for average speech. You are no longer available for low-level self-talk. You are no longer available for the silent retreat of a man who doubts his mission. You are here to speak like you already won. Because you have. The only thing left is for the world to catch up to what you've already declared. You must speak in the language of victory before victory is visible. Do not wait for the results to arrive before you claim your identity. If you want to stand where champions stand, if you want to operate on a level where doubt evaporates and power flows, you must first dominate the words you speak to yourself. Because here's the truth. Your voice is your compass. It does not just describe where you are, it decides where you go. And if your inner voice is confused, scattered, timid, your path will reflect the same. Every step you take externally is an echo of your internal vocabulary. Let me tell you something radical. You are already what you seek to become. Not in proof, but in principle. You do not wait to become successful and then speak like a winner. You speak like a winner, and success starts forming around your certainty. This is how you outpace competition. This is how you become untouchable. You no longer wait for validation from those who've never built what you're building. You validate yourself through consistency of voice, because every single day life is asking you the same question. Do you believe what you say about yourself? And if you hesitate, life withholds the reward. But when you speak without flinch, without fumble, without failure in tone, life responds. The marketplace responds. Opportunities chase a man who is already broadcasting the frequency of fulfillment. You're not begging. You're not hustling blindly. You are broadcasting conviction. That is what separates great men from mediocre ones. They speak before the crowd approves. They speak before the data confirms. They speak while their hands are still empty, but their mind is already full of vision. You must be that man. Now, how do you train this voice? Through repetition of identity. You don't find your voice once and expect it to carry forever. You reinforce it daily. Through affirmations, through written vision, through public statements, through action aligned with your words. Every sentence you speak is either sealing your future or stealing it. So what will you say today? Will you speak what's safe, or will you speak what's sovereign? Most people are terrified of their own greatness. They whisper dreams in private and speak limitations in public. They adjust their tone to match the insecurity of others. They blend in not because they lack vision, but because they've never rehearsed their own voice of power. Let that never be you. Rehearse your boldness. Practice your greatness. Not in arrogance, but in alignment. You are not here to make noise. You are here to make declarations. Declarations that pierce silence, that pierce fear, that pierce delay. You must speak like a man who has already touched what he's building. That kind of voice, it pulls your vision into the present. It magnetizes momentum. It awakens sleeping giants inside you. And it shuts down the voices that once held you hostage. Let me be clear. The enemy doesn't fear your talent. It fears your certainty. And your certainty is delivered through your speech. Why do you think critics try to mock your confidence? Why do they say he's full of himself when you speak boldly? Because they are threatened by the sound of someone who knows where he's going. Do not lower your tone to be more palatable. Do not dull your clarity to soothe someone else's confusion. Speak like you've already won, because they need to hear it. You're not just speaking for you. You're speaking for everyone who needs permission to rise. Your tone is permission. Your declaration is oxygen for the one still choking on fear. This is bigger than you. You must understand, every time you step into a room, your words create a temperature. They set a standard. They give people a glimpse of what's possible. So you must ask yourself, am I raising the atmosphere or am I blending into the average? A man who speaks like he already won doesn't just impress people, he alters them. He changes the way they see themselves. Because when a man is this sure of who he is, it demands others to rise with him or step aside. That's leadership. Not position, not title, not applause, voice. Let's take it further. When you walk into that interview, speak like you're already on the team. When you pitch your idea, speak like the deal is already closed. When you create content, speak like your tribe has already found you. When you pray, speak like the answer is already sent. That's not delusion. That's design. You're designing the emotional environment that produces results. You don't manifest success through emotionless waiting. You manifest success through emotional certainty. And that certainty is spoken before it's seen. This is the secret they won't teach you in school. They'll teach you how to write resumes. They'll teach you how to perform. But they won't teach you how to declare yourself. They won't teach you that the man who owns the room isn't the smartest, he's the clearest. He's the one whose voice does not waver, because it's anchored. Anchored in vision, anchored in principle, anchored in purpose. And when you're anchored, you don't have to shout. You just speak. And when you speak, rooms shift. This is the voice you must build, day by day, speech by speech. In the mirror, on stage, in writing, in passing, in the quiet, in the noise, until your voice is indistinguishable from your destiny. And let me remind you, this is not about pretending. It's about positioning. You are speaking from alignment, not desperation. And if someone can't handle that, let them find comfort in silence while you find progress in speech. You are here to speak like you've already won and then follow it with relentless action. Because that's the final piece. Speech alone is power. But speech plus aligned execution, that's supernatural. When you talk it and then walk it, the world doesn't know what to do with you. You become inevitable. You become undeniable. You become a voice that others cannot unhear. Because while they were waiting for signs, you were becoming one. Let the world hear it. Let your enemies tremble at it. Let your allies rise because of it. Let your younger self be proud of it. You are no longer the man who waits to be chosen. You are the one who declares the mission and builds the momentum. Speak like you already won, because you have. Victory is not a destination, it is a language. And if you do not master this language, you will forever be a guest in the house of greatness, never its owner. You must understand, most people will never reach their potential, not because they lack ability, but because they misuse their words. They speak fear when they should speak faith. They speak doubt when they should declare direction. They speak about what's missing when they should declare what's coming. And so, by their own words, they trap themselves in lives they do not love. But not you. You have seen too much, felt too much, lost too much to speak small ever again. You will speak like you already won, not because of pride, but because of principle. Because words are not decoration. They are tools of construction. Every sentence you shape builds a structure around your identity. So, what kind of structure have you been building? Have you been creating cathedrals of confidence or cages of hesitation? Your voice creates the walls you live inside. And if you don't like the life you're living, check the language you've been using. Let me say it plainly. The future is voice activated. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. That is the law of manifestation. That is the formula the world's most successful minds have applied since the dawn of influence. Andrew Carnegie didn't wait to be rich to speak like a builder of empires. He spoke industry. He spoke vision. He spoke partnerships before they existed. And the world, it followed the tone of his faith. So must you, when you enter a room, your belief must enter first. Let your words walk in before your wallet does. Let your voice command before your results arrive. Not to deceive, but to design. Because the man who owns the conversation begins to own the outcome. And I'll tell you this, your competition is waiting. They're waiting for signs, waiting for data, waiting for encouragement, but you speak it into motion. You do not need permission to be powerful. You need precision in your vocabulary. Words like someday, maybe, if they're poison to your destiny. Remove them. Replace them with I will, I do, I am. That shift, it is the difference between wandering and winning. Because winners speak forward. They don't get lost rehashing the past. They don't hold meetings with their insecurities. They don't need approval to be assertive. They know who they are and they say it without apology. You must decide today, will you speak as a reaction to the world? Or will you speak as a creator of it? This is not self-help fluff. This is strategy. The most elite leaders, the most admired innovators, the most magnetic influencers all have one thing in common. They command language like a weapon. They are not sloppy with words. They are not soft with standards. When they speak, the room calibrates. Because confidence is not volume, it is clarity. It is being so resolved internally that your voice carries a certainty that cannot be borrowed, only built. So if you feel shaky, build it. If you feel small, speak taller. If you feel lost, speak like a map. Your tongue must become your toolkit. Because here's the irony. The people who win don't always have the best ideas, the most money, or the perfect timing. They have the strongest voice. And by voice, I don't mean volume. I mean intention, precision, conviction. The way you say what you say determines who pays attention, who follows, who invests, who believes. You could be one sentence away from your breakthrough. But if you whisper that sentence like you don't mean it, it dies before it lives. So train your tone like it's your ticket. Because at Island, now, let's look deeper. It's not just about speaking with conviction when the stakes are high. It's about how you speak all the time. What do you say about yourself when no one's listening? What do you say about your future when nothing is working? That's the test. Do you speak like a winner only when it's easy? Or do you speak like a winner even when it's unreasonable? Because that's the secret. Speak like you've already won, especially when it looks like you've lost, because that is the moment where your future is being shaped. Not when it's obvious, but when it's obscure. That's where the elite are separated from the average. The elite speak direction in the storm. They speak stability in the unknown. They speak faith in the fog. They do not flinch. They do not fold. They keep talking like it's already done. Because at Island, the delay is just a test of discipline. And when the world finally sees the result, they will say you were an overnight success. But you will know the truth. You spoke this life into being long before they ever noticed. You believed it before the applause. And because of that, the applause means less. You don't need to be clapped for when you've already confirmed yourself. That's freedom. You are no longer available for low standards of speech. You are no longer available for the habit of hesitation. You are no longer available for soundless self-sabotage. You are here to own your sound. Let it resonate with power. Let it echo with authority. Let it sharpen like steel. Because from this moment on, you speak like you've already won everywhere you go. And if anyone questions your tone, if anyone suggests that you're too confident, let them smile, because what they hear as arrogance is actually alignment. They hear what it sounds like when a man finally agrees with his purpose. And that sound is not just for them. It's for you. Because when your mouth aligns with your mission, you become a force that cannot be ignored, cannot be broken, and cannot be stopped. Say it with me now. I speak like I've already won. Because I have. You are not born to whisper your way through life. You were born to make declarations, not excuses. To carve your path with certainty, not crawl in circles waiting for someone to approve the sound of your voice. But understand this. The moment you truly begin to speak like you've already won, you will intimidate people. Not because you intend to, but because your clarity offends their confusion. Because your self-trust will challenge everything they've denied in themselves. Let them be offended. Let your confidence expose their compromise. Let your certainty convict their comfort. Because the world does not need another diluted voice trying to sound palatable. The world needs one man, one woman, who speaks as if destiny already stamped their words with approval. Let that be you. You have spent enough years talking yourself into shrinking. Enough years echoing limitations passed down by the insecure, the afraid, and the uninformed. It ends here. From now on, when you speak, you elevate the conversation. You don't join the gossip. You don't validate the negativity. You don't add weight to fear. You speak as if the future already belongs to you. Because it does. And every time you open your mouth, you either align with that future or abandon it. So speak intentionally. Speak like a man on fire. Speak like a woman with divine orders. Speak like a soul who already knows how this ends. Because when you do, everything changes. People start to listen differently. They stand straighter. They lean in. They feel something they didn't even know they were missing, certainty. Because your voice becomes a portal to what they crave but never articulate. Do not downplay this. Your voice is not just yours. It is theirs too. It is legacy. And legacy does not whisper. Legacy commands. So let's get brutally practical now. What does it mean to speak like you already won on a daily basis? It means you audit your words. You eliminate small talk that shrinks your vision. You delete the vocabulary of indecision. No more, hopefully. No more, I'll try. No more, we'll see. You say, I will. You say, this is happening. You say, I am building this with or without applause. You do not talk about what you'll do someday. You talk about what you are already becoming today. You speak your mission into rooms that haven't caught up yet, and when they roll their eyes, You double down. You raise your voice, not in volume, but in conviction, because your voice must be louder than their disbelief. And when you do this day after day, something begins to shift. You stop second-guessing. You stop performing for validation. You stop editing your identity to be digestible. And instead, you start attracting not followers, not fans, but alignment. The right people, the right deals, the right moments, they start gravitating to your tone because it sounds like home. Understand this, your future is sound sensitive. The doors you want to walk through open when you speak the right key. That key is called certainty, and it's built in private. It's built when no one is clapping. It's built when your bank account doesn't yet reflect your worth. It's built when your results still look invisible, but your vision speaks anyway. And when you walk like it's already done and speak like it's already yours, even the universe has to respond, because nature bows to conviction. That's why seeds grow into trees. They don't ask for permission. They become. So must you. And when you speak like it's done, something else happens. You start treating your time differently. You stop explaining yourself to doubters. You stop chasing cheap validation. You stop lowering your frequency to match someone else's fear. Because a man who speaks like he's already won doesn't beg. He builds. He moves. He multiplies. And the more he speaks from that place, the faster his reality catches up. This is not magic. This is mental architecture. You are building the house you will one day walk through, brick by verbal brick. And if you're tired of the delay, don't wait. Speak it faster. Speak it clearer. Speak it like your future depends on it, because it does. And if someone tells you, be more realistic, tell them, my words are the most real thing I own. Because the truth is, most people are speaking against themselves every single day. They sabotage before they act. They undercut their own belief with sarcasm, self-mockery, false humility. You don't have time for that. You are not here to rehearse your failure. You are here to announce your greatness, not out of ego, but out of obedience to the potential within you. There is nothing humble about hiding. There is nothing noble about self-erasure. You were given a voice for a reason, to speak things into existence, to shape atmosphere, to lead hearts, to declare light where there was once only shadow. So raise your voice. Raise it when you're tired. Raise it when you're scared. Raise it when no one's cheering. Because the ones who speak like they've already won, they become the blueprint. They become the exception. They become the reason someone else dares to believe. Let your voice do what it was designed to do, shift history, and let no man, no fear, no past version of yourself ever quiet you again. Speak like you've already won, because the moment you believe it, you have. And now you've arrived at the edge, the place where you must choose. Will you retreat into silence again? Or will you finally let your voice walk into the life you've been envisioning? I want you to understand something once and for all. Every word you speak is a signature. It confirms or cancels the contract you have with your future. Speak power, and power shows up. Speak fear, and fear floods in. It is that simple, that direct, that absolute. You do not get to negotiate with destiny through vague language. You declare, you affirm, you command. Is not arrogance. This is authentic alignment with the man or woman you are designed to be. Too many people spend their lives speaking like prisoners even though the cell door is open. They say, I can't, I'm not ready, maybe later. And with those small sentences, they sentence themselves, not you. You have broken that chain. You have unlearned the vocabulary of the defeated. You have decided to be dangerous with your clarity, unstoppable with your voice, unwavering with your declarations. And so now, every time you open your mouth, you move mountains. Not because you shouted, but because you meant it. And that, my friend, is where you become a magnet for every resource, person, and opportunity your purpose requires. Because life does not follow the strongest man. It follows the man who knows who he is and says so. It follows the woman who speaks as if heaven already handed her the blueprint. You have learned that your words don't just describe reality, they design it. So now, everything you speak has power. From this day forward, when you say, I am, you mean it. When you say, I will, you follow it. When you say, it is done, you walk like it's done. You do not go back to maybe. You do not flirt with doubt. You do not audition for people who can't see what's inside of you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them laugh. Let them question. Because while they talk, you build. While they judge, you declare. While they wait for proof, you become the proof. This is the era of your voice, the age of your announcement, the rebirth of your own certainty. And when the final pages of your life are read, let them not say, he played it safe. Let them say, he spoke like he had already won and he was right. Because in the end, that is what legacy is made of. Not just wealth, not just recognition, but resonance. The echo of your voice in rooms you never entered. The ripple of your certainty in people you never met. The sound of someone else believing because you believed out loud. That is your mission now. To keep speaking, to keep building, to keep declaring, until the world has no choice but to witness what you've always known. You were born to win and you already have. So go, speak like it, live like it, move like it, and never ever whisper again, because your voice is victory.